Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tom Matt Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sarah Granetz is with us today. The Granetz Mindset. Sarah is a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach. She's got just tremendous programs all over the place. They're very, very well done, and she's super popular on Instagram. She helps a lot of women, not just women, but she works with the whole, but mostly women. All right. This segment is sponsored by Craig Stiles, Ameriprise Financial. Craig can help you plan for the life you want today and want into the future, just like he's doing for us. He's got all of our retirement zone savings. With the right financial advisor like a Craig Stiles, life can be brilliant. Looking forward to seeing him next week and getting some stuff recorded and going over our portfolio to see what kind of changes we're making, because you got to always stay. That's the thing about Craig. He's so diligent about this stuff. Call him at 1-800-528-1355. His local number is 517-483-4893. His email is craig.stiles@ampf.com, and his offices are located at 2651 Coolidge Road, Suite 103, East Lansing, Michigan 48823. Don't let the East Lansing, Mid-Michigan address, phone number dissuade anyone from pursuing Ameriprise, because they're huge, as you probably know. If you don't, they're a national company. They're big, 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 big. And Craig can vet anyone for you. So, and he's got about, 20-some, 30-some episodes on this radio show. Just look for financial fitness and you'll find Craig Stiles and all kinds of different ideas, tips, and stuff. And his shows are always, his YouTube shows are always, always popular with us. Stations that have carried us in the past still carry us. Of course, the Michigan Talk Network with Steve and Ivy Gruber running that show. We've been on the Michigan Talk Network for a long time now. We were on 92.1 FM in Grand Haven. They were the first out of the chute ever, and I'm so grateful to Will Team and Wendy Hart for doing that for us. Always like to mention their numbers and call letters because they're just good people. WJIM 1240 AM in Lansing is the flagship of the Michigan Talk Network. WKLQ 1490 Muskegon Whitehall. WYPV FM 94.5 in Mackinac City up north. And of course, our PBS affiliate at Michigan State University, WKAR AM 870 News Talk and 102.3 FM simulcast and streamed. Thanks again to Craig Stiles for creating Decideri Analytics, his proprietary algorithm where we are making light of weighted decisions. Sarah Granetz is back. People that know Sarah are like, yeah, we want to hear more about Sarah. We want to know about her life and all. She helps so many people out there, mostly women, but you know what? It transfers. It is what it is. She's found her niche. We're going to talk about the Granetz mindset. Okay. So discipline and mindset, Sarah, take it. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the first segment. Let's really dive this thing here. Go ahead. Take the rest of the segment. Talk about that's because that's big. We could do the whole show on this one.
We could. I more and more in my work with one-on-one clients, but also just being available and speaking with women on social media. Intention is everything. Your mindset really can make or break this journey. And like we were speaking about in the beginning, it's not just about fitness and nutrition and wellness. It's really any area of your life. You can tell yourself you're too busy. You can tell yourself you don't have time. You can tell yourself that your neighbor has it easier because of X, Y, or Z. But the reality is, if you choose to change your mindset or color your prism differently, like you say, it's freedom. It's the ability to do exactly what you want, and honestly, to do what you've said you're going to do, right? Because a lot of what we hear with New Year's resolutions are, I want this for myself. I want to be this person, but we're not really fully taking into account what we have to do to get there. So if we actually verbalize this goal that we want, and then the steps to get there become difficult, that doesn't mean that we just abandon ship. But what it does mean is that we have to be crystal clear on what we do want. And if that requires a bit of reframing or a bit of, actually, you know what, I need to extend my timeline, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging the circumstances that we have. We only have so many hours. Maybe we're taking care of a loved one, a child, a parent, etc. But there is time in the day. We can find it. It's there. We just have to have the ability to find it and really commit and not complain along the way. And so much of what I see is sometimes as our own minds are undoing things that are well within our capacity, right? If we think about a 30-minute workout, maybe 30 minutes devoted to nutrition, maybe 30 minutes devoted to an online course of some kind, right? Most people have that time, an hour and a half. Once again, maybe not in a single day, but over the course of a few days. And so, really making sure that you're not getting in your own way mentally, because we can talk ourselves into anything.
I've got so many good things. Like Sarah Granetz is our guest today, everybody. I just wanted to jump in and say just a couple things real quick, let you continue on. I'm all about enabling beliefs versus limiting beliefs. That's exactly what you were talking about. You said
Hmm.
verbalize. Another thing about making things real, Sarah, and to the listeners,
Hmm.
when you want to make things real to the universe, everybody, and I'm telling you, this is a fact. I've done this so many times. I absolutely
Hmm.
believe in it. You do what Sarah just said, you verbalize it, but you also, what I suggest for people is to write it down. Get Sarah's program and write it down and jot it down. Because when you start to make these things real, when you start to tell the universe, I'm going to do this, then your budgeting of your time, just like your money, is very doable if you start to look for little pieces here and there. There's going to be little pieces. I was just talking to my friend today that I was training about the same thing, about budgeting money. Okay, let's find the spots. Guess what? We just in talking, we found it. Sarah, so
Hmm.
that's it for me. It's enabling versus limiting beliefs.
Yeah, for sure. And I think sometimes, it can be trendy to call this manifesting, but it's really not. And it doesn't need to be that frou-frou, right? It's almost like you're acting like the person you want to be, right? If the person you want to be has a handle on their nutrition, their wellness, their workouts, what does that person do every day? They wake up and they do their workout. They don't ask if they're in the mood. They wake up and they have a nice nutrient dense breakfast without saying, actually, I want pancakes, right? Nothing wrong with pancakes, but you get my understanding. Like, there's saying what we want and there's doing it. And if you start to act like the person who does these things, then it does become second nature. And most people don't give themselves enough of a chance to even get to that point where it can become actual literal habit, like brushing their teeth, like taking a shower, like feeding their dog, right? Something outside themselves as well.
Well, the thing is when people make these goals, Sarah Granitz is our guest today, everybody, calling this one the Granitz mindset. People just, they don't, you have to verbalize it. You have to say it again, like say it and get it real. When you make it established in your mind, it just becomes, again, that's a disciplined mindset. And then it becomes second nature and away you go. I mean, it's just,
Mhm.
it, I love the word manifesting. I love frou frou. I'm totally down with it, right? I mean, because it's
Yeah.
all on us. Stop
Mhm.
thinking about everybody. Stop thinking about everything outside of your head and think about things inside of your head that you can control. And listen to
Mhm.
what Sarah's got to say. The enabling versus limiting beliefs might sound frou-frou, but you know what? When you keep telling yourself, yeah, I can do this. Yes, I will do this. Yes, I'm going to do this. It does work. I mean, professional athletes have gone through this, the verbalization. There's
Yeah.
much money that goes into this stuff. Sarah, I'm going to carry this through because we're almost up on break here. Sarah
Hmm.
Graham, let me reset this thing, everybody. Sarah Granitz is here, calling this one the Granitz Mindset. Sarah and I have become friends. She's a phenomenal fitness trainer. She's got a great presence on social media. Her massive presence on Instagram is very well known. It's very popular, and it's primarily for women. And so that's the thing. We want to keep our girls and our women going strong, be a good leader, get them to the gym, show them the way, and guess what? Magic can happen. Just listen
Mm.
to Granitz because she knows what she's talking about. It is the Tom Man Show. I like calling you Granitz. See, I call people
Yeah.
that by their last name. It's like
Hmm.
coaching me. It's like, oh, good.
Yeah, I think gym
I
teachers
don't
used to do that.
that gym teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me get. God dang, I got a mess here. All right, here we go.
Hmm.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Tom Matt Show. Thank you so much for joining us. This segment is sponsored by Brock Fletcher and the selling team of Keller Williams Realty. And again, full disclosure on both of our sponsors. We've utilized their services for many, 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 many years. Thank you, Mike Dedman. He was our buyer's agent for Little House Lansing, where we're recording today. Brock told me a long time ago about selling Big House Holt, our beautiful mini McMansion that we had built from dirt. And it was like kind of earth shattering to consider just dumping that place after all the work we put into it for 20 years, 20 plus years actually. But times change and people change and you got to move on and you got to find other things that really make you want to roll. Brock Fletcher can help you get there, upsell, downsell, whatever. You're upsizing, you're downsizing, however you want to do it. Get a hold of Brock, 517-853-6408, 517-303-3262 is his cell phone number, and that's the key number, 517-303-3262, or go online to kwsellingteam.com. As I was saying about Craig Stiles in the previous sponsor segment, his Brock's episodes and Craig's actually have been getting a lot of notice and play on our YouTube channel. And just like my name says, Tom Mancho, go there if you want to watch it or listen to it. That's where I'm trying to push people to go to YouTube for that, because you can get a variety of different things. But I just want to let you know it's popular because he does a good job. Just like our guest today, Sarah Granetz, does a good job. I want good people to come on this show, and that's what we have with our sponsors. They're super duper people. Again, Brock Fletcher is someone you can trust. That's his middle name, Trust. And I want you to give him a call because he supports us. And without the support from our sponsors, we can't do this thing. So help a brother out, will you please? 517-303-3262 is the cell phone. Tell him, text him, leave him a voicemail and tell him you heard it from Tommy, and he'll know it was from somebody with radio, because that's what all the radio people call me. All right, Sarah Granetz is here. Sarah's awesome. The Granetz mindset, helping so many people. We're just talking, if you missed the previous segment, you want to get back to that, because intention is everything, as Sarah would say, discipline plus mindset and getting in your own way. Sarah, you said a little bit that you get a lot of this up coaching that you have to do for people to kind of get out of their own way. What are some of the things that you hear from people that get in their own way? Like, because other people are probably feeling the same thing. Are there a variety of common, I hate saying excuses, but reasons? Are there some commonalities that you can share and people make them feel like, oh, I'm not alone?
Yes, yes, of course. So, like I said, the all or nothing mindset can be very present for a lot of women on this journey. I think, going out to eat can be a very simple, very universal example of, oh, I can't track because how could I possibly know what's on my plate? And then they just give up. And then one untracked meal becomes two, becomes three, becomes an entire week of not hitting my macros, and, I'll do better next time, or I'll start again. That's really what gets me, actually. I'm starting again on Monday. Can I reset my program? I need to start again on Monday. And I think that really does an individual disservice. First of all, like we said, we have agency, whether we want to admit it or not, in every single decision we make all day long, how we respond. Not saying that we are completely in control of everything, but we are in control of how we act. And so basically saying, oh, throw your hands up, it's out of my hands, right? How could I possibly know what this chef put on my plate, isn't actually helpful. What is helpful is saying, okay, let's see here. This is about a fist size of chicken, and it's about a fist size of mashed potato, and it's about a fist size of green beans. I'm going to guess that that's approximately a serving each, right? Maybe a little more if you have a big hand, and move on with my life. I think that we let these single moments then can sometimes cascade, which can be very problematic if you don't have honestly, more mental control over your own thoughts. My mother used to say something that made me crazy as a child, but it was very true. Never believe everything you think. So you decide that this one meal is your downfall. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was, yes, maybe it was a little oilier than you like, but it's not actually setting you that far ahead, because maybe yesterday you were a little bit off, and you're not a robot, so your calories can fluctuate a little. And on the days when they fluctuate a lot, medical studies show that it's what you do consistently that matters. This is why diet breaks are so powerful. The 11-3 schedule, right? We have actual evidence and medical proof that temporary influxes of calories isn't necessarily a problem, right? Even if we are on we have a fat loss goal. It's the mindset around it. And one meal becomes three, becomes a week, becomes this need to feel this Monday refresh start. When actually, if I've learned anything in my 30 years, it's that Monday is the craziest day of the week. And so I think That's really what I hear the most, and I try to break down. Every day matters equally. You don't need to keep restarting because you're a human. And if you don't learn how to do it now, you're never going to. And this need to clean the slate it's not healthy.
It's not. And here's another thing I was thinking about as you were going through all of these things, these moments, and one turns into two and turns. I have seen many times with my own family, because I'm drawing this from my own family. So
Hmm.
if they hear this, which they probably will, and they'll probably go,
Yeah.
"God, what are you telling them?" Well, I keep telling them the weekend sabotaging is killing you. I mean, you can be
Yeah.
good for 5 days, and then in a weekend, you have friends over, you do a tailgate, you do the social thing.
Mm.
You don't have to worry about counting how big the piece of chicken is on your plate or the mashed potatoes, because just those four cocktails you had is 800 calories. I mean, so talk about weekend sabotage, because I see that a lot.
Yeah. So and honestly, I feel like more often now I'm seeing just full sabotage all the time. It doesn't have to be the weekend. We're mentally in the wrong place. You know, I think unfortunately, alcohol is extremely problematic for a lot of reasons. We now know it can lead to a lot of cancers, preventable cancers. I understand that there will be people who choose to drink. To your point, having this clear delineation between the person we are during the week and the person we are on the weekends is not productive, unless, of course, the person it's for a specific reason, right? So most people drink or, are drawn to eating in excess because they feel the need to de-stress in some way. Versus, if over the weekends you're very quiet, you do a lot of rest, maybe some meditation, maybe massage, sauna, right? That would be a productive way to channel those feelings. And everyone feels stress of some capacity, whether we feel it's warranted or not, right? But so I think this delineation between having these two personalities is extremely difficult to reconcile when you have more substantial goals, right? I'm getting my PhD now. I will be Dr. Sarah before I'm 40. And the idea that like I would just turn it off for 2 days is crazy to me. Who has time for that? But so I think part of it is making goals that are realistic, right? If you're going to go out and tailgate for 6 hours every Saturday and Sunday, probably you can't have a fat loss goal. You can't, because there's not enough room for food. But if you are going to say, you know what, I'm going to have my one night where maybe it's a date night, girls' night, etc., and the rest of the week I'm on, if that's the balance someone needs to make the rest work, that's okay. That's a move in the right direction. But there are some people, and I think I actually fall into this bucket, and more people do than they realize, that one night is the excuse to go, you know, too crazy, too much excess, and actually channeling that into making every other day feel better is really, that would be the win, right? If we feel so restricted Monday through Friday that we have to eat 4,000 calories on Saturday, that's a red flag. If our workouts are so long and we hate them so much that Saturday and Sunday we take 2,000 steps, that's a signal that something else needs to change, right? So I think some people simply don't have a grasp as well on their emotions as they want to admit. And the emotional piece then just bleeds into everything. And food neutrality, mindset neutrality can be a really powerful way to then become hopefully more positive. Um, and I definitely focus a lot of my coaching on what are you telling yourself?
Emotional piece. I want to talk about that when we come back, but we're going to be moving on, everybody. Sarah Granetz is here, the Granetz Mindset, Dr. Granetz. I started calling you Dr. Granetz. I didn't even know you're working on your PhD. I'm so proud of you for telling me that, because I am
Thank
such a
you.
non-traditional, of course, non-traditional education guy. That's awesome. I mean, how did I know? I didn't. The Granetz Mindset. Sarah Granetz is here. We're going to talk about food and cooking tips, because we got to get you guys straightened out here. This is the Tom Matt Show. Okay, this is plug spot. You got all your stuff ready to go to town and talk about your PhD and the book and all the shit you want to do and all the podcasts you're gonna do with Tom. Just use me as
Good.
your production company and come on the show like every 6 weeks, and we'll just that
Yeah.
way we'll have a whole roster. I'm serious. I
I
mean,
love it. Yeah.
then we just show up for an hour, we do a recording, and it's like, and we do all the heavy lifting. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
it's win-win both ways, right? So it's like that's what I like to do, because getting a regular flow like Dr.
Hmm.
Avellino have coming,
Hmm.
every couple, the same thing, our performance living. And I'm
Hmm.
going to start doing some three ways with him. You would be a good one with some of my other guests too. I'm going to start doing some conferences with this. All right, so you
Love
got
it.
all your goods right in front of you, and you can promote the hell out of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I always, you know how I am, Sarah. I was just going to ask because I've had people say, I don't know my phone number. I'm like, I should have asked you, do you know your phone number? Here we go.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Tom Matt Show. I am your host, Tom Matt. Sarah Granetz is here, the Granetz Mindset. You want to get a hold of me, go to tommattshow.com. Pretty straightforward, simple. Everything's there. I mean, it's one-stop shopping. All the podcasts, aggregators are there. You've got all the YouTube stuff there. You got all of our social media there. It's all there. So just check it out. And then our sponsors are there at the bottom of the homepage. And all of the archived episodes are there. There's 12 little cartoon things that you can click through to the topic that you're looking for because we're very diverse with our topics. Although we spend a lot of time in the fitness and nutrition and performance living kind of space because that's what we're promoting here basically. But it
Hmm.
all fits. It all fits. Sarah, how would you like people to connect with you? Tell people what you do with the coaching, with all your programs, the speaking engagements, everything where you're available to come out and coach people. Please go right ahead.
Sure. Thank you. So you can find me on social media at strong period by period Sarah. So strong by Sarah, separated by periods, on TikTok and Instagram. Instagram is my primary platform. So please leave a comment, send me a DM. I'd love to help you. I I've decided that it's been my life's mission to help other women eat more, to get strong and to learn how to really take charge of their mindset and change their own lives. So whatever your goals are, if you want to set up a consult, you want to talk about what you're struggling with, where your pain points are, I'd love to meet you. We do it all over Zoom. It's very easy. You can be anywhere in the world. If you really want that one-on-one coaching experience, I do offer that. We have a very full roster right now of amazing women, but there's always space if you are the right fit. There's an application on my website, so strong dash by-sarah.com. So strong period, strong dash for the website. And then if you're just looking for a pre-made workout program, a nutrition plan that you can reuse over and over again, calorie calculator, all that stuff is also on my website. So if you're a little more confident in this space, but you just want to take your results and really get them moving forward in the right direction, we also have a lot of that kind of do-it-yourself type assistance for workouts for nutrition. I'm getting my PhD in nutrition and exercise science, so I really am trying to make sure that I'm bringing education and understanding to everything that I recommend. It's really important to me that everything I say is based in something that's been proven, right? It's not just my opinion. So I'm here to help, as you said, mostly women. It's only one-on-one coaching for women, but these principles apply to us all.
It's pretty straightforward with all of that. And you know, us guys, we think we know everything anyway. So it's like, what can Sarah teach us? Although I'm looking at an image right now of Sarah doing, I don't know how you get your back so arched. I've tried doing the bench press like that. You're doing a 130.
Yeah.
I see that. And you've got
Mm,
your arch going. I was like, I've tried that and I'm just too stiff. I mean, pushing that kind of nice job. I mean, that's
thank you.
very,
That's the
very, that's very strong.
Thank you. I did used to compete in powerlifting, so I really enjoyed all those experiences. Bench press arch is difficult, but it really does protect your shoulders. And if you're a woman who's less strong potentially in your chest, it can allow you to really recruit other muscles to make that a strong lift, and obviously leg drive, full body movement.
You know, I just saw something recently. We're going to get into the cooking thing in a second. I want to ask your
Mhm.
opinion on this because it just popped in my head. Sarah
Mm.
Granetz, our guest today, everybody, the Granite's Mindset. I saw a doc talking about how your quad strength is directly relational to the length of your life. And so the
Hmm.
stronger your quads, the more muscle mass you have in your legs, the science says you have a preponderance to living a longer life. Have you read that?
Yes, yes. So, I mean, we see that the more muscle we have as we age really helps prevent a lot of, unfortunately, common concerns, sarcopenia, osteoporosis, right? And those things don't necessarily, not unfortunately, but things don't kill you, right? But the fall then leads to being in the hospital, which then leads to pneumonia. We know that people who eat nutrient dense foods, have stronger immune systems, can simply fight off infection more easily. We know that people who make better choices around their health, who are active, there's a mind muscle connection there. We now know that, some circles are calling dementia type 3 diabetes, right? There's a undeniable connection between what we're consuming, what we're, both content and food wise, and our outcomes as we age. And we know that muscle really can be, as Dr. Gabrielle Lyon would say, it's the muscle of longevity.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
Organ of longevity, excuse me.
No, that's correct. No, that's right. And Dr. Lyons very, very. I have not interviewed her, but I interviewed her mentor, uh,
Mm,
the protein expert, Dr. Don Layman, and that's where I
mm,
learned a lot about protein, was interviewing him. And so, yeah, Sarah's spot on with this thing, which is a great segue into our next talking point, is the easy nutrition cooking tips.
mhm.
Is it, you gave me that bullet point. You said easy nutrition. People are going to go, oh, it's so hard. It's just so hard. I haven't done so too much time. All this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dispel some rumor. Let's dispel some bad info here. Go ahead, Sarah. You know.
So I'm not going to I'm not saying everything in totality, right? We still have to go to the grocery or somehow acquire groceries. We still have to have the pans, the kitchen equipment, etc. But the reality is that actually cooking most foods, it takes very little time. So if you are struggling with putting meals together and it's a time component, and you think takeout is faster, it's just simply not, right? It's 2025. If you don't have time to go to the grocery store, you can order groceries to be delivered. If you want to lean into microwaves, using a microwave, using your oven, right? Pre-planning, meal prepping, there are so many tools at your disposal. But often what I hear is it just takes too much time. It takes about 5 minutes to cook an egg. It takes about 10 minutes to cook ground turkey, ground chicken of some kind, ground beef. Chicken will take maybe more like 15. But if you have a skillet, you have some avocado oil spray, you can pretty much cook any protein within 15 minutes. You can cook some kind of starch, potato, rice, and you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel every day, right? If you find something that works for you, you can keep eating it. Once you get sick of it, then you change it up. We know from a microbiome standpoint, the more diverse foods you consume, the better off you are. But we also can't hit every box. We can't check every box, right? If you're struggling with eating healthy, nutrient dense foods, don't try to have a different menu, so to speak, every day. If you like chicken, great. Let's do chicken, rice, and avocado. Easy. You can zhuzh it up however you want, right? You can bake it on a sheet pan. You can cook it in a skillet. You can put it in the microwave in a potato pouch. My favorite thing, it cooks the potato in less than 10 minutes because I don't really use my stove. There's always a way around. If you really do not feel comfortable cooking, you can make Greek yogurt. You can have some protein shakes. You can buy pre-made, pre-cooked chicken, pre-cooked salmon, right? Frozen. There's services like Factor, which can make sense for some people. But the reality is that if you don't have time, you actually need to take a step back and say, I do have time. Where is that time? And if you truly are low on available minutes, is there a time during your week or that makes more sense for you, or can you outsource this problem, like I said, to a Factor type service? I have a few clients who simply, they say, I can solve this problem with my time, or I can solve this problem with my money. And sometimes for a certain period, we have to pick one or the other, and that is okay.
We put ourselves in a box, we put ourselves in a corner, and then we fight ourselves because we're in the corner. And it's like, well, we put ourselves there, and it's
Mm,
like we just need to understand that just through the choices that we're making, we just need to make better choices. And I'm using this new one, everybody. Choices have consequences. So
mm,
if I'm going to choose to make that one day cheat day, and let me tell you, I don't know, Sarah, I'm going to come up on break here, but I want to start this thread. We'll come back to it when
mm,
we come back from break. But I was a big body for life guy with Bill Phillips. I don't know if you
mm,
know him. That book's a little bit old now. Bill Phillips was pretty famous, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know where he is now, but it was
mm,
hugely successful. There's Body for Life for men, and there's a Body for Life for women. And it's a really good book. But The problem for me, where I ran into, his whole philosophy was on the cheat day. He's like,
Mm,
you can do whatever you want on your cheat day, but the rest of the week you're going to stay dialed in. What happened for me, everybody, was the one cheat day turned into a day and a half, and then two,
mhm,
and then three, and then all of a sudden you're all over the road. And so I
mhm,
don't know, Sarah, if you've ever heard of that or not, but I don't know. It's exactly what you're saying. It's like we sabotage ourselves. And his whole philosophy was like, well, if you could eat two pizzas on Sunday, you won't want to eat any pizza the rest of the week. I guess that
mhm,
has some valid sense to it, but
mhm,
frankly, if you're going to have you don't want to do it at all, everybody. It's just not worth it because that one cheat day can completely sabotage your all of your effort for the week. One day can ruin the whole week. And we can go into those numbers here when we come back because we're going to break here in just a second. Sarah Granetz is here, the Granetz Mindset. She's the bomb. She's big on Instagram. She just heard all. If you're just joining us, we're going to give all of her information right out of break here one more time so that you can get a hold of Sarah because Sarah can make a difference in your life. This is the Tom Mann Show. Boom, boom.
love it.
It's great. It's great.
Mhm,
I mean, when I believe in people, obviously, it's like, it makes it, I just need to, I'm not here to push bullshit around.
yeah.
I had a guy buy an episode one time. I got talked into this by the radio.
Mhm,
This guy really had heard one of my episodes and he really
mm,
wanted to buy an episode. And it was a real estate thing. And
mm,
when we did in person before we did Zoom,
mm.
strictly just audio and radio, it was the worst, absolute worst show I ever did. I mean, I had some of the guy that I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Bill Coast.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of my biggest fans, great friend. He's like, I don't know what you were thinking with that show, but if you ever do that again, I'm never listening to you again. It was that bad. I mean, it's like, oh, it was just so
Yeah,
got to have the connection. My
yeah.
emotional connection to my guest has got to go both ways. That way we can have fun.
Mm,
That's that's what the guy, doctor I had on last week, this Alzheimer's expert, uh,
mm,
Mitch Kliansky, really, really famous
mm.
guy. He said, I've been on 100 different podcasts and you're the best host I've ever been on. And I'm like, dude,
Aw,
really appreciate that. And I asked him, I said,
yeah.
I always want to get better, but why? Why did you?
Mhm.
And he just said, well, because you have tremendous energy and you ask good questions. And it's like, I'm just a
Yeah, you do.
cat, but I appreciate the feedback because I just want to, it's not an ego thing whatsoever. It is a totally constructive criticism. How do I get better?
Of
And that's what we
course.
gotta do for our people, right? So I'm going to go
Yeah.
back to Body for Life for a second, but first let's do another plug, and then we'll get to cooking tips you kind of talked about. I think your perfect workout schedule is going to be good.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of Bill Phillips?
No.
Okay, he was huge. He was really really big. And if you look
Mm,
at the women's Body for Life,
mhm,
get the doctor, the woman who wrote that book. But I interviewed,
mm.
and she was great. And
Yeah.
similar stuff. But those were the early days. Not
Mm,
pre-internet, but pretty darn close. Here we go.
mm.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Tom Matt Show. Thank you so much for being with us, joining us, watching us, streaming us, however you do it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Today is Sarah Granetz. I call her Granetz sometimes because she's she's greatness. And you know what? I think it's just my coach in me that just wants to I admire her so much, calling this one the Granetz mindset because you've got to have the Sarah Granetz mindset. When you get it, you'll know it because it'll make things real simple. You won't be
Mm.
second guessing yourself constantly. You won't be calling Sarah and saying, I fell off my program. Can I reset my program? Can you please? I want to buy a new program. This program's too hard. No, 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 no. That's not going to happen for you. Just listen. Just take your time.
Mm.
Be patient. Just be patient. Okay, Sarah, please share your contact info one more time. It's so important for people to connect with you, especially on Instagram where you have so many great videos and pictures. And it's just like, that's why you got such a huge following. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, strong period by period Sarah. So strong by Sarah. Our website is strong dash by dash Sarah. So on there you can find information about my one-on-one coaching program. So fully custom everything, workouts, nutrition, my cell phone number to text me when you're having a hard day. I also have pre-made workout programs. If you're a little more seasoned in the gym, you just want something to grab and go, do it yourself completely. Also offer nutrition support. I know for a lot of women, nutrition is the missing piece. We simply don't always understand how to feed ourselves based on our goals or honestly our training. So if you don't really fit in any of those buckets and you want to just Zoom, you can also set up a consultation and we can speak over Zoom, we can speak over the phone, and I will help guide you based on all of your inputs, right? What are you doing now? What did you do before? Where do you want to be? So once again, primarily I am looking to help women get strong, but I am getting my PhD in exercise science and nutrition. So I would like to think I am able to help with a variety of different goals, and really make sure that what I'm recommending is backed by science.
Sarah, when women look at you on your profile and they see your very fit young body and they see you there, and I'm going to refer to older women out there, do
Hmm.
they get a little perhaps they say, well, she's too young, she's too fit. What about women that are a little older who might be premenopausal, menopausal, perimenopausal? What about the
Mhm.
older? Because really those are a lot of that's a huge demographic, and we don't want them to be dissuaded when they see you and say, oh, I can't, this is for younger people, this is not for people like me. Is that
Mhm.
true? Am I saying something correct?
Yeah, so actually, the majority of my one-on-one clients are over 40. So I actually prefer to work with women who are a little older, honestly, because there's less of the emotional mindset drama. Obviously, that's not always something we outgrow. But a 45-year-old woman who knows that she can get to the gym on time every day is more susceptible and more open to coaching potentially than a 22-year-old who, like we were talking about earlier, is tailgating every Saturday, right? There's a clear difference in mindset. But I do want to say that we have two women on the team right now in their 60s, and one will be 70 next month. So I actually really do pride myself on working with women of all ages and meeting them where they are, right? The 69-year-old client and the 64-year-old client do not have the same program. They also have very different goals, actually. Just like the 30 somethings as well. So it's super important to me, like I said, that I am continuing to educate myself on women's health and hormones so I can guide women through these journeys. Just because I haven't been through menopause doesn't mean that I am not really trying to understand what's happening and be helpful. And like I said, I personally am enjoying that journey a bit more with those women. The roster right now is just fantastic. It was a pinch me moment yesterday after all my calls, because I was like, I am so lucky I get to do this.
See, this is why you want to check out Sarah's work, because she's genuine, she's real. I mean, and everything has to be customizable. I mean, because everybody is different. So you have to go in with the mindset of like, yes, this template that she has here is a outline, but it's customizable to what you want to do. So talking
Mhm.
about that and the customization of all of this, the
Mhm.
perfect workout schedule for
Mhm.
all women, all ages, what is it? Do you have it? Is there such a thing?
I think there is such a thing. So
Believe there is
this,
some. No, hold on. Limiting belief here. Never say I think. You always say I believe. You're Dr. Granitz. I mean, you believe,
I
right?
believe I found it. Whether is
Boom.
ready or not to hear it, that's the different question.
There you
Not
go.
everyone wants to hear this, but my personal experience and for my clients, the perfect workout schedule is 2 days on, rest, 2 days on again, rest. There is so much pressure that we put on ourselves to work out Monday through Friday, to work out 4, 5, 6 times in a row. And the reality is that a lot of us have a lot of other things going on. None of my clients are professional in the fitness or nutrition space. We have other things that we want to do. But also, if we're training really hard, a really hard leg day followed by a really hard upper body day, our full body still needs to be resting on Wednesday, right? If we're training Monday, Tuesday. So not pushing through soreness, not pushing through fatigue. So that Thursday workout is pure fire, right? We're actually fully recovered, we're fully present. And taking the pressure off of needing to have 4 workouts all in a row can be very liberating. If we understand maybe it's Monday and then Wednesday, and then we have a break, right? If Tuesday something happens, then we can be on Thursday, Friday, we can be on over the weekend. I work with women, some doctors, some nurses, they don't have typical schedules. Um, they need some flexibility. And if you have those built-in rest days as well, you have the flexibility to say leg day today, upper body, then you have a break, and then you can decide. Instead of if you're on more of a bodybuilding split where it's Monday lower, Tuesday upper, Wednesday lower, so on and so forth. So this 2 days on, rest, 2 days on again. Rest can be really liberating and actually allow you to make a lot more progress because you're 100% every time you show up.
And the thing about your rest days, everybody, call it an active rest day. So if you feel like you want to and you need to do something light, like a bike ride or a walk or something very, very,
Massage, sauna, I mean, understanding, yeah, recovery is very important.
all of it, all of it. It's like the person I trained today. She went to the gym this morning, did a sauna before work, came to the gym at lunchtime. We ran through, I crushed her for about, 50 minutes and she was she got crushed. I mean, but she loved it. I mean, that's the whole thing with it. It's just you got to stay on your program, make it
Mhm.
customizable, and keep going. All right, we're gonna have enough time here to finish this. I'm so glad that we can get through all of our notes here with Sarah Granetz. Dr. Granetz is with us. Dr. Sarah, the Granetz mindset. Sarah, how to focus on what matters and tune out the noise. I mean, we've kind of alluded to a lot of this throughout the show today, but this is, I mean, this is a big issue. And if people, if they focus on if their limiting belief is derived from the noise, the limiting belief is going to own them, right?
Yeah. So keep seeing more and more this obsession with the micro instead of being focused on the macro, this obsession with the minutia instead of having the big picture, right? So um do I need to be on AG1 greens? Do I need to be on LMNT, right? The electrolytes. Do I need to be taking the Amara colostrum, something colostrum like that? But they're not hitting their protein goal. They don't even have a protein goal. They're not following the same workout program, right? They're doing Instagram workouts. And unfortunately, we end up spending our money on these very small solutions, things that are selling, total wellness and rejuvenation, but we're not even mastering the basics. And that's where the time and money can come in again, right? You're putting your money towards these things. This is something you say you want. You say you want everything that LMNT's marketing is promising you, but actually you could get that if you ate more protein, if you had nutrient dense foods, if you weren't picking up a protein bar, you were actually just eating more chicken at the next meal or tempeh, tofu. This inability to not succumb to marketing basically and to understand that the basics are not sexy. They're simple. Good food, good actual food. Working hard, challenging in your workouts, whether you're training to be a strength athlete, an endurance athlete, or just a functional everyday athlete, and sleeping. And hopefully not throwing your money at these greens, electrolytes, colostrum products when if you did the basics, you could be saving and not really, your attention would be more focused as well.
Your money trying to find a silver bullet is a waste. You're never going to find it. It's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
don't even go there because if you buy the marketing hype, then you're wasting your money. Sarah, I got a minute to go before we wrap this bad boy. What would you like your takeaway to be? Excellent, excellent effort today. What would you like your takeaway to be from today's episode?
To try and make everything as simple as possible. It's not that complicated. And I don't say that from a high horse. I say it because people are more capable than they give themselves credit. Mostly eating whole foods, mostly getting as much sleep, mostly challenging yourself at least, 5 days a week. If you mostly do that, you are okay. And we can get into the minutia, right, of that. Does a cheat day make sense for you? Just try to do the basics first. Try to show up every day as if it's Monday. Stop with the I need a fresh start tomorrow. You don't. right now, it's, it's 3 o'clock on Friday, or, whenever this airs, just start now. The next decision is just as important as what you're going to do on Monday.
If you listen to Dr. Granitz, you're going to get a few things here. You're going to develop confidence, which you need to make sure that you can stay disciplined and have the
Yes.
correct mindset. You need to do exactly what she's talking about with mastering the basics. Get the simple stuff down. We need small wins and then simplify. That's it. If our show fits your business or group's mission, we want to be of service to you through our show. Thank you. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. Thank you to my guest today, Dr. Sarah Granetz. She's awesome. Sandy, Matt, Craig Stiles, Brock Fletcher. We'll talk to everybody next weekend. Have a great week, everybody. Go out and ignite your life. Remember, Tom Matt Show is a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. And lastly, thank you to Mitch Anderson and Vanessa. We are out. Sarah Granitz is awesome. She's greatness. And I just want to thank her so much for giving the time. She's very, very busy, but she's got almost 300,000 followers on Instagram, and she's actually very young. I mean, but she's got it going on. I mean, got it going on. And Strong by Sarah, strong.by.sarah. That's how you find her on Instagram. But if you just look her up, Sarah Granitz, I'll have all the links in there, or Vanessa will, or I will, or somebody will. Until next time, everybody, it's been a pleasure. I'm Papa Tom, and this has been the Tom Matt Show. Thank you so much for joining us and subscribing, doing all those good things. Please subscribe on YouTube. It's helping us. And please, please, please utilize our sponsor services, because they're the bomb. Until next time, peace out, everybody. Love y'all.